Hello everyone, this video is going to be all about my top 10 watercolor paints. These are my absolute favorite watercolor colors that I use in almost every painting. Also, these aren't ranked, I'm just going to go through them in hue or color order. The first paint on this list is Daniel Smith's QUINACRIDONE Deep Gold. This might be the most versatile color on the list. Its hue changes quite a lot between using it at its full opacity or watering it down to use. It can go from being a bright, burnt orange color to being more of a mellowed down gold. I love using this paint as an overlay to warm paintings up, but it's a beautiful color all on its own. Next is Winsor Newton Cotman's Indian Red. I mainly love this color to mix for skin tones as well as layer for shadows on portraits. It's the perfect balance of having some color without it being too saturated. Also from the Winsor Newton Cotman range, Mauve. I kind of just really like this color. It's a great purpley pink color that's nice and bright as well as pigmented. It makes for a great pop of color in galaxy paintings. Next on the list, and I know I'm going to butcher this name, is Daniel Smith's NAPHTHAMIDE Maroon. This is another color that I like equally on its own as well as for mixing. It's quite a unique dark reddish purple color. This is also a paint I like using for shadows in portraits. Next up, Winsor Newton Professional's Winsor Violet. This is an amazingly pigmented purple. It can be used watered down to be a much lighter color or built up to be almost black. I also use this paint a lot for mixing because it is such a highly pigmented color. Next, Daniel Smith's Moonglow. This might be the most famous watercolor paint around. It's well known due to its color-changing properties. As Moonglow dries, it separates into a teal color in some areas and a maroon in others. It's a very unpredictable color. What I like to use it for most is mixing. Because it is a naturally granulated color, mixing it in with other colors will still give them those splitting and color-changing properties. It's definitely not something you'd want to use for every painting, but for the right piece, nothing gives a cooler effect. Also by Daniel Smith, INDANTHRONE Blue. This might be my absolute favorite watercolor paint. Not only is it my favorite color blue to begin with, it's also an amazingly pigmented paint. You can build up the color to be almost black if you want. It's the perfect blue that edges on purple. I use this all the time in galaxies as well as generally any other opportunity I get. Next is Daniel Smith's French Ultramarine. This is another beautiful blue color. French ultramarine is a fairly common color in paint ranges, but this Daniel Smith paint just seems to be extra bright compared to all the others. I don't really have a specific use for this color, but I love to add it into paintings when I can. Another color from the Winsor Newton Cotman range, Turquoise. Again, a gorgeous blue. This specific paint is in here because it's a very unique color. I haven't found anything quite like it from other brands. It edges onto the side of being more green, but it's not green enough to be called teal. Like I said, very unique. It makes a beautiful sky color. And last but not least, Winsor Newton Cotman's Payne's Gray. This is probably the most practical color on the list. I'd say I use some version of Payne's Gray in almost every single painting, whether it's used on its own or mixed with another color. I have a lot of different versions of this color from different brands, but my favorite is still the Cotman paint. Unlike others, it's not too blue in color, just the perfect balance to use for just about anything. And those are my top 10 watercolor paints. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.